Everyone thinks they're the next George Carlin on the internet. Dude, they watch one clip and they're like, me, hashtag me, and they start like saying mean shit. I mean, you see kids do it all the time when kids learn sarcasm and they think sarcastic humor is funny. So they start trying to do it, but they don't know how, and they just say mean shit. They just straight up say mean shit to their parents while they're still like learning how to do sarcasm. I don't know if you've ever like seen a kid learn how to communicate like an adult, but you know, there's always this level of they're trying to learn how to like be tactful with humor, and you know, they're just saying mean shit. I feel like a lot of people don't make it that far past that, right? They make it a little past it, but not far. And then they just stop there. That was you at 1200%. Yeah, it's a very normal thing for, you know, everyone to have a phase of that, but just some people don't really get out of it. I feel like it's cool to look up to people. It's cool to look at someone and be like, I would like to be more like that, or I feel like I'm a little like this, but you should never get it twisted. You should never think, oh, I'm literally like this guy. Oh, I can be this person. You should never look at someone who is a quirky character and be like, oh my God, me, and start trying to do it and expect to be received the same way ever. Because there's also a big difference when George Carlin is on TV and you're not, right? He's a guy on TV, and therefore there's this subtext that we're all not talking about, we're not reading, but it's there, of like, this person was hired and paid to be here because they're good at this thing. Like they're put in a professional setting, but then you won't be in a professional setting. You'll be at like a bar and you'll say some crazy shit and it won't get received the same. And you're like, but I'm like literally like George Carlin, you know? He's literally me. It just doesn't work like that, man. Yeah, no one in this world should think they're that guy. Exactly. I've noticed a lot of people do with streamers nowadays. They see a streamer do a thing and they're like, oh, me too. And they start trying to be like that or do that IRL. You see it with kids mostly though. Kids more than adults. Everyone does it, but kids are a real problem with it, where they see a streamer or YouTuber do a thing and it's so funny and they're like, haha, me too. And a really, really good example of it was when a really stupid one. That one dude was trying to do that stupid trend where people would take jugs of milk and just throw them on the floor and then pretend they slipped and fell. And they would make videos of this. And it was purely a nuisance and a disturbance. And maybe 2 really popular channels that were already popular did it. But a ton of kids, because everyone has a cell phone, a ton of kids started making videos like that, but it would get like 10 views for their 3 friends from school, you know, whatever. And they would just like do that in public and be like, oh, I made a video, because they'd be like, I could be that guy. I don't know. I'm not saying people should necessarily be super mean to their kids, but they need to make sure that their kids have a sense of shame, okay? And a sense of humility, and to know you're not that guy, okay? Like, I would look at that and I'd see some kid like filming his friend doing the same shit in public, and I'd be like, you'll never be that person, okay? You'll never be that YouTuber, right? You know, maybe there's the 2 that actually will. Like, they might actually do well later in life or something. But you shouldn't make them think that that's gonna be realistic, right? It's crazy. Age-gating the internet, seeming more feasible by the minute. I don't know how they would begin to do it. I did see, like, some countries are either passing bills or proposing bills about trying to limit. Some of them are making it so that you can't have social media after a certain point. Obviously, in the US, it's private. It's not really a legal thing, but they make it so that, like, you know, a certain platform will say, oh, you can't be here if you're under this age. But they usually do it to absolve themselves of legal liability, right? To say like, oh, my TOS says this, therefore if some 11-year-old does a thing on my platform, it's not my problem. You can't sue me for it, right? Or it's so that advertisers can comfortably advertise on the platform, because if they allow, people under 13 to be on there, then suddenly those laws start to kick in where you like can't advertise certain things to kids, etc., right? So that's why that exists, but it's not just like kids are let them get raised without this first, right? It's not about that. It's just about like their money, typically. So I don't know. I feel like we need more kid-only spaces like Club Penguin again. Yeah, there really aren't anymore. I think that's one of the problems. We used to have Club Penguin and have a hotel in Toontown and nowadays all of the kids are on YouTube and TikTok and whatever the and yeah, Roblox is like the only one kind of, but Roblox and Fortnite have a lot of adults on them as well, like a lot. And yeah, I think more kid spaces like that would be better. YouTube does have YouTube Kids, but it's so tailored to like little kids that when they start getting a little older, they don't want to be there anymore. Roblox was taken over by adults trying to make a VR chat. Yeah. Yeah, it's really not. It's not a kid space. It's not. Yeah, there are a lot of kids that like it too, but I don't know. But also I think you can't, now that kids have had a taste of being in adult spaces, I think you can't force them back into kid spaces. I just don't think you can. Kids don't got money. It genuinely, I think the only, not saying this is good, I think genuinely the only way to make it so that only adults, for the most part, are in certain online spaces would be to put a paywall on there. Literally just paywall. Some kids will grab their parents' credit card, yeah. But generally, if you have to pay separately for this thing, suddenly the kids are not accessing it, you know, like they don't have their own credit cards, you know, typically, et cetera, et cetera. And yes, some might find ways, but I think that's the only way that would actually work. But then that puts all the adults in a spot, right? But I think that's the only way, genuinely. Paywall or proper ID. Yeah. Like I've said, like there's some countries that make you, South Korea especially, makes you like use your actual ID and verify you, the person, and only the platforms know that information, like what username goes to what person, but they all make you do that. And that way, if you do something crazy, you can be sued easily, right? You're spreading misinformation about someone on a website. That person could be like, okay, I'm going to sue this user for defamation. Boom, they get you because you're spreading lies, you know, stuff like that. If you get banned from a game, you cannot go and make another account because they know that you, the person, are banned. They do that. I think it's a little too heavy-handed, but you could make it a system where people could either do that or pay, potentially, right? And that way, if they want to remain anonymous, you could just do like some sort of payment method or whatever. And I think that might be like the way to do it. But even then, it's still a little too controlled. I don't know. I just don't think realistically it'll happen.